Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Jahmal Kennedy.
And I'm Ryan Renfrow. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy athletics. Now taking a look at the Trojan football team first. The Trojans are now 6-1 on the season and 4-0 in the Sun Belt Conference after taking down the Jaguars of South Alabama last Thursday night. With the win, running back Jordan Chun has now been named the Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Week after rushing for 143 yards on just 23 carries, finding the end zone 2 times in the fourth quarter. But as much success as Chun had on the night, it didn't come without a few mistakes. He finished the night with 2 fumbles, one of which came late in the game.
We can correct that on Monday when we get back together. My deal is we're not going to show that we're defeated. You know, and I didn't like his body language, and he's better than that, and he knows that. And he's got character, he's got stuff about him, and I knew he would bounce back, and he's a great player. That's all I said. Hey, you're a great player. That's not how we're going to handle it. Let's go back and let's win the football game.
And win the football game they did. 28-21 was the final score, and Megachun tallied his 4th 100-yard game of the season and also caught 5 passes out of the backfield for 34 yards for a total of 177 all-purpose yards on the night.
And going into last weekend, head coach Jason Hamilton said that his soccer team controlled their own destiny as to where they would end up in the Sun Belt Conference Championship Tournament. And the Trojan soccer team, a team that dropped its season finale against Arkansas Little Rock on Sunday, didn't get all bad news. Troy's soccer team fell 2-0 to Little Rock on Sunday, but the cards fell in the team's favor as ULM and Texas State played to a 1-1 draw, giving the Trojans the number 8 seed in the Sun Belt Tournament. Troy managed just 3 shots in the contest.
And with Jason Hamilton and the Trojans wrapping up the season with a tough 2-0 loss to Little Rock Sunday, the Trojans fell to 7-9 on the year as they prepare for the Sun Belt Conference Tournament.
It's a disappointing weekend for us. We kind of knew we had our backs against the wall, and we needed some kind of result to get into the conference tournament, and to go out and get 2 losses with really lack of effort wasn't what we were looking for. So we got pretty lucky to get into the conference tournament even with the 2 losses.
And again, with its 2 losses, this Trojan team now sits at an overall record of 7-9 on the season. The Trojans landed the number 8 seed in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. We'll have their matchup coming up in our preview segment.
The Trojan volleyball team still has a ways to go to finish out its schedule, but after the weekend, the Trojans are still winless in conference play. Well, Troy fell to Arkansas State in 3 sets on Saturday night with scores of 12-25, 20-25, and 14-25. Simone Shaw led the team with 8 kills and recorded a .22 hitting percentage, and Logan Page recorded 4 total blocks in the match, which led the team. Now, the Red Wolves nearly doubled up the Trojans in kills on the night, 43-24, with the Trojans committing 17 errors to Arkansas State's 14.
Remember earlier in the show when we mentioned the Trojan football team defeated South Alabama, and then a couple of weeks ago when the soccer team defeated South Alabama as well? Well, the South Alabama volleyball team rolled into Trojan territory Tuesday night, and it was much of the same story. The Trojans ended a 16-game losing streak with a win against the Jags in Trojan Arena. Rachel Wilkerson has the highlights.
The Trojan volleyball team turned its season around with a win over South Alabama last night in Trojan Arena. Troy lost the first set against the Jaguars, but with help from a large crowd and motivation from teammates, the Trojans came back strong to win 3 matches in a row.
It's been a long time since we've had the joy of winning a match, and the team has put in the work. We've just had some unlucky breaks. I thought they really played well tonight. I thought they really started seeing the fruits of their labor. It was a total team win. They played hard every ball, and that's all we've asked them to do.
The Trojans broke their 16-game losing streak, and in what better way than against rival South Alabama.
It felt so good. Like, that's our biggest rivalry, and it was so just great. Like, the energy on the court was like so big, and we just played really well and like meshed as a team for like the first time in a while, and it was like the best feeling.
The win was also the first conference win for the Trojans, and Kirkpatrick is proud of the way his team performed.
We played really well. We passed really well in serve receive, and offensively we put balls away.
And the difference in this game was?
We didn't dwell on the mistakes. We made a mistake and we were on to the next play, and that's the mental toughness that we need to be able to get and keep on a roll.
Troy will now turn around and play 2 more games this weekend. And with only a few days of preparation, Kirkpatrick says they've done it before.
It's a little bit of a time crunch, but we've had to do it earlier in the year, so we're honestly just concentrating on app right now. We're going to break down film tonight and tomorrow and try to get the team as ready as we can.
Both games will be at 6 p.m. in Trojan Arena. Rachel Wilkerson, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
Over the weekend, the Trojans were on the short end of the stick when it came to kills. Well, that wasn't the case Tuesday night. The Trojans racked up 56 kills and kept the Airs down to 28. The Trojans also had 52 assists to go along with the 56 kills. Freshman Belle Wadrup led the Trojans with 10 kills, and Bethany Coliti led the team with 22 kills.
The Trojan basketball seasons won't officially start until November 11th, but that didn't mean the teams couldn't go ahead and rock Trojan Arena, and rocking it was as Trojan fans got their first look at both the men and women's teams and had a little fun at Tuesday night's Trojan Madness. Rachel Wilkerson has the highlights.
Last night, the Trojan Arena was filled with madness. Trojan Madness, that is. Both basketball teams held the event to give fans a chance to have some fun with the players before the start of the season. And besides everyone's favorite free t-shirts and pizza, activities included
three-point shootout, dunk contest, we got half-court shooting from the fans, a lot of different things.
Doing a three-point contest, it made me feel good because I had a lot of people screaming for me.
And not only did she win over the crowd, but
I beat all the boys.
with the season opener being around the corner, Trojan Madness fueled both teams for what is to come.
Just got me geared up, getting ready for next week for our first game. I think we got a new team, a lot of new players. We're going to win a lot of games, and hopefully we get some new faces out here in the stands to support us.
And that confidence continues for the women. The Lady Trojans were picked to win the Sun Belt Conference again this year, and Banks is sure her team will.
I'm looking forward to another winning season and winning the Sun Belt Conference Championship again, and then get to the NCAA again and get further.
The women's basketball team will tip off in Trojan Arena November 1st for its exhibition game. The men will head to AUM to play in theirs November 3rd. Rachel Wilkerson, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Once again, the official start of both team seasons is on November 11th, but fans can see the women in action in an exhibition match on November 1st in Trojan Arena.
And as for men's golf, senior Clayton Vanoy, the nation's number 32 ranked golfer, has now been named the Sun Belt Conference Golfer of the Week. Vanoy has finished 6 of his 9 rounds under par this season and leads the Trojans with a 70.78 stroke average and a pair of top 10 finishes on the season. He's also the only player in the conference to rank among the top 115 players in the country.
Now to Kiowa Island, South Carolina, the site of the Palmetto Intercollegiate. Out of 20 teams competing in the tournament, the Trojan women's golf team has finished in 13th place. The Trojans shot 25 over par in Tuesday's final round of the tournament and led by a 4 over 76 from Fatima Fernandez-Cano. Troy's Bianca Lobauer and Becca Horner both tied for 40th and 44th place.
Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan soccer team's matchup against South Alabama.
But first, Ryan Renfrow sits down with women's basketball senior guard RJ Asandru. Stick around, more Trojan Sports Now is coming your way.